Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good day, everyone. So, in this video, we are going to have a look at your final assessment, which is a recommendation report. Okay, assessment three, a recommendation report. So, this thing you can get it. Okay, the question paper you can get it from Kalam under week 11. If you scroll down towards the bottom of it, you can see this is the question. Okay, and then this is the draft proposal, which I'm going to share afterwards. And then this is going to be the verified front cover for your recommendation report. Of course, you need to have additional front cover, which I will explain later. Okay, all right. So let's have a look at this. So basically, you need to get into groups of 3 or 4. Okay, and then you need to submit the report by 19th of January 2024, which is in week 14. Okay, week 14. All right. So basically, there are 10 scenarios altogether. Okay, and I will appoint you to different scenario randomly. Okay, so how does it work? So there will be 10 scenarios. You're going to pick one, or you're going to choose. Like you will be given the scenario randomly by me. Okay, and then from there you need to work on it. Okay, so let's have a look at the instruction first. So based on your chosen scenario, discuss in your groups and propose a draft report for your instructor's approval in week 12, which is next week. You need to prepare the draft, show it to me, and then whether it is going to be approved or not. But basically, I hope and I believe that you can get it approved by once. Okay. So once approved, you need to produce a point by point recommendation report. Remember, point by point, not whole to whole, of 4 comparison points in 1,500 to 2,000 words. So which is between 6 to 8 pages, does not include the report cover page, table of contents, references, and appendices. So you need to use Times New Roman, font size 12, double spacing, and justified text alignment for the contents. Use the text, use the provided report template to complete the task. Okay, so once you have completed this part, before you submit the final draft, you can show it to me and then ask for my feedback, and then I will give my feedback regarding it. And then you need to also include in-text citation from at least 3 sources using APA 7th edition style. So what you can do over here, since that let's say you are going to compare 2 different machines, so you can get the information from the official website, or maybe from other platform that review about the machine itself, then you can use it as one of your resources. Okay, so you can include it at least 3. Remember, and it must be according to APA 7th edition style. So you need to submit your report to Turnitin to avoid any form of plagiarism. Okay, which I'm going to open the account for all of you. I will give the account. Okay, it's going to be similar like our first assessment. And then you can access the class and you can upload it on your own. And you must get the similarity index report not more than 15%. So 15% and lower should be okay. So any use of AI tools in the creation of composition of a recommendation report is discouraged and deemed a violation, as it is not considered original work. So please do it on your own. Do not go to ChatGPT or any other AI platform, and then make sure that you don't have to follow that. You're not using AI platform as a whole. Okay, so if parts of the work submitted are found to be AI generated, marks will be deducted. So just to share with you, in Turnitin, okay, it can check where you have taken the information from. If it is AI generated, so you have to be very careful about this because marks will be deducted. So please try to do the recommendation report on your own without consulting any AI tools. Okay, so this is the submission guidelines. So these are the submission guidelines. So you need to have the assessment cover sheet. Okay, this is the assessment cover sheet. All right, it is in column as well. Okay, and then you need to have the report cover page, title of the report, and company details. So this one I'm going to share with all of you in our group later on, so you can have a look at the sample given there and why it is outstanding compared to the others. Okay, so you need to have the logo of the company, you need to have the address, you need to have the contact details and so on. So you need also to have the table of contents, and then it must be in technical memorandum recommendation report. So the sample has been given to you in week 10. It is in column as well. And then references and then appendices. For the appendices, you need to have the Turnitin Similarity Index report. And then you can also include figures, surveys, charts, etc. Okay, let's see, illustration, pictures, and so on. So your report should be submitted by 19th of January 2024, and then you need to save your files in this format. Okay, so where to submit it? Of course, it is going to be in our Microsoft Teams, which I'm going to create the tab for your submission, and then you can submit it there. So these are the scoring part and how you will be awarded the marks. Okay, let's have a look at the scenario given here. So there are 10 scenarios altogether. So an issue, scenario number one, an issue due to malfunctioning equipment has occurred at your company's construction site. So your company, the company that you are working with is a construction company. So as a technical consultant team for your company, your manager has requested your team to investigate and rectify the problem, present to your company two new solutions and recommend a better one. So the problem is malfunctioning equipment. All right, it can be about any machine, it can be about any tools which is not working, and then you are suggesting perhaps to purchase a new machine. That will be under scenario number one. Scenario number two, your team is the safety and health committee at your company. During a site inspection, your team has identified the need to improve your company's fire safety and protection system to ensure compliance and systematic efforts to control hazards. Present to your manager the seriousness of this matter, compare two fire protection systems that can solve the problem and recommend a better one. So we are not only talking about, for scenario number two, we are not only talking about fire extinguisher, smoke detector, we are talking about the whole system. Okay, all right. For example, the fire alarm system, and then how is it being triggered, and then you can talk about the smoke detector. Okay, and then you can also talk about the water sprinkler. So all in a system. It is not a standalone. So you are not talking only about smoke detector versus fire extinguisher. That is totally a tool, but we are talking here about the system. Okay. Scenario number three, your department has been assigned to manage one of your company's projects. Unfortunately, one of your subcontractors has withdrawn from the project, hence a replacement is immediately needed to ensure the project success. Compared to technical service companies, comprehensively recommend a better one for the project. So in this situation, you are having problem with the subcontractor. Okay, all right. So the subcontractor has withdrawn, meaning that they pull back from the project itself. So you need to compare between two different subcontractor, possible replacement for the existing one, which they pull out, and then you need to recommend which one is going to be the best subcontractor for the project. Okay, so you are comparing between two different subcontractors, but they are working on the same project. Okay, scenario number four. As a team of technical consultants at a company, your group is assigned to assist the company inventory manager in identifying the right inventory control software to manage all aspects of the company's inventories. Compare to efficient inventory control software and recommend a suitable one to your manager. So in this context, you are talking about safe keep. You're talking about inventory. You're talking about stock. So in this context, you're going to compare between two different inventory control software and which one is going to be the best option for your company. Okay, all right. So you have to do a bit research about this thing because inventory control software is something that is very, uh, I'm not saying that it is limited, but basically you have only a few selection. And of course, you can get it from the internet. Okay, scenario number five. Your team has been tasked to improve the energy efficiency of a manufacturing process in your organization. Compare and evaluate two different process modifications to determine the best solution that reduces energy consumption optimally. So, your company is working on manufacturing. Okay, all right. So, you and your team, okay, you have been assigned to improve the energy efficiency. So in this context, perhaps you can talk about solar energy, you can talk about replacing fossil fuel and move to other method, okay, that kind of what do you call it, option, okay. So you're going to evaluate two different process modification, which one is going to be better. Let's say, are you going to move, let's say, for the cooling chamber, are you going to use water or liquid, or are you going to use wind? And then you're going to compare between two and which one is going to be the best option. Okay, scenario number six. The traffic networks in the company are increasing beginning this year due to digitization initiatives. As the team responsible for your company's network system, find out the most suitable server as there is a need to migrate the usage to a better one. So compare two servers and recommend the better one. So in this context, you are working as a computer technical team. You are part of the computer technical team or network technical team. So you are in charge, you and your team members, you are in charge of purchasing or upgrading your network system, whereby you're going to find the most suitable server, okay, as you need to replace the older server. So in this context, you're going to compare between two different servers provided by two different manufacturers, or you can also compare between the same manufacturer but two different model. Okay, that is for scenario number 6. Scenario number 7, the lab where your team is working expanding due to the high demand for testing chemical substances, which requires thorough and careful planning. As committee members of the lab, your team is instructed to investigate the problem of storing the substances. What is the problem? Okay, maybe the location is small, the room is small. Okay, maybe the cooling system is not sufficient because you are expanding it. What else? Okay, maybe the cabinet is not enough, or maybe you are trying to avoid any type of corrosion that comes from the chemical substances and how to overcome that problem. So in this context, you're going to provide two solutions and recommend the better one to the head of the lab committee. Okay, scenario number 8. Recently, an issue related to procedural requirements has occurred in one of your company's projects. As the technical consultants for your company, your manager has requested your department to investigate the matter and propose practical solutions. Compare two suitable procedures and recommend the better one. So for this, you are basically depending on the procedural requirements, the process. Okay, you're talking about the procedure. So maybe if you're going to use procedure A, the method is going to be more expensive compared to procedure B. So in this context, you're going to compare between two, and then you're going to uh, take into account your company projects. Okay, let's say you're working on project A, and then as part of the technical team, you're going to recommend the procedural requirements to overcome the problem, and then maybe to minimize the cost and to maximize the profit. Okay, that will be under scenario number 8. Scenario number 9, various complaints have been recorded from staff regarding one of the PPEs used in your company. As a technical consultant team, you have been instructed to investigate the matter and recommend purchasing a new PPE. Compare two new high quality PPE and suggest the better one. So we are not talking only about safety boot, we are not talking only about goggle, we are not talking about high visibility vest, we are talking about PPE as the whole. So over here, you can talk about many things. Okay, do not limit yourself to only certain PPE. Okay, like say the face mask, the safety goggle, and so on. So maybe you can talk about the system, the whole system. Okay, personal protective equipment. Okay, lastly, for scenario number 10, your company plans to undertake a massive office renovation towards making it more sustainable for the environment. As the technical consultants who are part of a larger design team and work closely with other professionals in your company, your manager has assigned your team to materialize the plan. Compare two sustainable office designs and recommend the better one. So over here, you are going to be in charge, you and your team will be in charge of a massive office renovation. Okay, because your company is moving towards sustainable approach for the environment. So over here, you can talk about how to minimize the usage of water, for example, and then how to generate the electricity, for instance, or you can also talk about uh, how to use less air condition and use more fresh air coming into the office and so on. So basically, I have covered all of the 10 scenarios. However, if you need further clarification, you can always reach me in the group. Okay, so I'm going to pick the scenario randomly for all of you, and then you have to start working on it. Okay, and this is the template that you should be working on. Okay, so this is the template. So this is the draft report proposal template. So you need to work on the introduction 1.1 background of current situation. Remember, what do you need to include about this? I have explained to you last week in our class, okay? And then statement of the problem. This is where you're going to focus on detail regarding the problem that is happening and why you should think of the options. So the purpose of the report, options and points of comparison, you just need to fill in the table over here. So you put what are the options that you have, two options only. And remember, 4 points of comparison or criteria, only four, not more than that. Then statement of requirements, what is given by the company itself. And then the discussion part. Okay, so the criteria, let's say you talk about cost, warranty, uh, features and technical dimension, and what are the options given. So option one, let's say machine A, option two is machine B. So you can do that. All right. So this is what you need to prepare. And we're going to meet next week on Wednesday in our class. And I'm going to have a look at your draft and we are going to further discuss about it, whether it is on the right track or not. Okay. So that's all from me, everyone. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.